brief statement, and we'll open up for questions.
Yeah, first thing is I thought the fans were terrific tonight. I told the guys that we need to stop and think just how fortunate that we are to play and coach at a place where seemingly every night now it's a packed house, and fans gave us terrific energy. We played far from perfect, but I think our energy was very, very good, and a lot of that was due to the crowd. The biggest thing that I was proud of from the game itself was the way we defended in the second half, holding them to 18 points. I thought our energy was very good defensively, and it really allowed us to extend the lead, and it helps to make some shots too.
Questions for Coach Mark?
Can you talk a little about the aggressiveness in the second half? Like Rob was getting blocks and steals, and some other guys were. He just like picked it up a little bit.
Yeah, we talked about that at the half. Second half defense has been a big emphasis of ours because in a couple games previously we've struggled to stop teams in the second half. So I think our guys, we got great guys on our team. I mean, when you ask them to do something, they're going to try to do it. Now we make our share of mistakes, but they really wanted to go out and play with great energy and stop South Florida in the second half, and that's where you saw that energy from.
Coach, can you talk about your bigs tonight, DJ and Javonte, and what they did defensively and on the glass?
They were great. I think they didn't get a lot of shots offensively. When they did, I thought they had their moments, but they were huge for us defensively. South Florida beat us up physically last year down there with their big guys. One of their big guys, Anderson, had 9 offensive rebounds by himself last year, and I think the overall rebounding margin was in the teens last year. They beat us on the glass that bad. So I thought DJ and Javonte gave us a physical presence inside. They didn't back down. They had a lot of critical rebounds for us. The block that Javonte had in the second half, that was very indicative of just his energy for the night. So I was proud of those guys.
Talk about how much of a difference it makes when Troy's out there making shots. He had 5 threes tonight.
He did? Just kidding. Yeah, when Troy shoots the ball, he's such a good shooter. I hesitate to say this, but it's almost like you're disappointed if it doesn't go in because we've seen it go in time and time again in practice. And he hit kind of a rough stretch. The last couple games, his confidence was wavering a little bit, but his teammates and his coaches have really been emphasizing the past few days that we believe in him and that when he's open, we want him to shoot the ball. And he rewarded us tonight by going 5 for 9 from 3. What it does is it really opens things up offensively for us. We've had our stretches this year where we've struggled to score, but when we can get him in there and the scoreboard's moving by 3s, then it makes things easier.
Looking back at the game against St. Francis, how much of a difference do you see in this team?
I think we're defending with more urgency. We were really nervous in that game. I think that's a big difference too. I think a lot of our young guys have settled in more. Darius is more settled on his role. Again, second half defense is a much more of an emphasis on the front of our guys' minds. But we still got a ways to go. I think there's a lot of things that we can clean up to continue to be a better team. Guys like Weber, he brings so much energy and so many good things, but he's just got to be much more sound, and he will. It's something that we'll continue to work on. But, yeah, I think we've made really good progress. As somebody said, it's been 19 days since we were here against St. Francis. I think we've come a long way since then, and particularly since we left Charleston.
Rebounding them by 7, does it surprise you?
It doesn't surprise me. I knew we were capable of it, but it definitely is pleasing because they have a very good rebounding team, and their big guys, like I said last year, really beat us up on the glass. I thought we did a good job as a team. It was a good team effort rebounding. Everybody chipped in. I thought Travion Graham had some big rebounds for us. Javonte led the way. So that's what we're going to have to do. We don't have one dominant rebounder, but we've got a lot of guys that can stick their nose in there and go get some rebounds.
You went with David Hinton for a couple of stretches in there at Keystone. Why did you do it?
Well, just because they have a physical presence about them, South Florida, and a lot of times we play small with Brad at the power forward spot, but I didn't know if we could do that the whole game. I didn't want to do that the whole game, so we actually played. DJ and Javonte played a little bit more than they normally do, and then we put Hinton in there here or there. I thought he gave us just a lift in terms of doing what we asked him to do. Even the foul that he had on the other end, which was a block out, he was doing what we asked him to do. He was just maybe a little bit overzealous, but that's one thing you're going to get from David. He's going to really try to execute the plan. And I told the guys in the locker room afterward, tonight it was David Hinton. The next night it might be someone else, but we're going to need all of our guys on our bench at some point this year.
Coach, with having a young team still growing together, did you find any opportunities, having 19 days on the road and back and forth and a lot of traveling, did you find any opportunities that maybe you had with those guys on the road than you would have had just here at home?
Well, you spend a lot of time together, Wes, when you're on the road. After one of the games in Charleston, we were up till 3 in the morning watching tape as a team. So you wouldn't do that at home. At home after the game, you go back to your separate ways, and the next day you get together. But because you're in a confined space, in a hotel, and there's really not anything else going on besides your team activities, it gives you more opportunity to be around the guys. But I think, the time around each other for our players and our staff, and not just basketball, I think even away from the court, is really good for our team because we're getting to know one another. We're developing leadership. We're developing roles. We went out to dinner a couple times as a team when we were on the road, which is nice. I think personalities come out, when you're together as a group. So that's been nice to see. And I'd love to play every game at home, but that's not how it works. So we go back on the road this weekend.